Hello and welcome to Talking Good Games. Just finished Fulham 0, West Ham United 0. Nothing happened for about 94 minutes. Then there was a bit of controversy, but we'll deal with that in a minute. Gonzo, let's just take the first half as a whole, I guess. Half time, 0-0. What were you thinking?
Very low energy. It just wasn't entertaining in any way, shape or form. I didn't feel that they were getting forward in numbers, Fulham as well. I thought they were pressing. I thought they were busy. They were like wasps. They should have played in yellow and black. They were swarming over us. Lots of bodies, high energy. We had no energy at all. We appeared to have no quality, no width, just nothing. Obviously, the defence, as is proved by the 0-0 at the end, the defence performed as they would and as they should, I guess, which is a bonus. But the midfield and wide and the forward areas didn't function. Basically, 2/3 of our team didn't function today.
Yeah, I don't think I can say too much different from that. I thought Fulham played really well, actually, the first half. I don't like it when teams sort of detract from the good stuff West Ham do and almost blame the opposition for West Ham winning. So I think if I was a Fulham fan, I'd be feeling a bit unlucky not to be a goal up, actually. I thought their game plan was spot on. Parker did his homework on West Ham United, knew what to do to stop us playing, he knew what to do in order to cause us a little bit of trouble, actually. I thought they were getting in behind our midfield and in front of our defence, that pocket of space. I thought they were utilising that fantastic, not just Loftus-Cheek, but also Lookman and Bobby Reed were getting in there. I thought, Robinson and Tete were stretching the game when they needed to. I thought Parker got his tactics bang on in the first half. He was just lacking that little bit of quality that they needed, really. I think, and I hope this comes across right, and it might offend a Fulham fan. I'm sorry if it does, but if you had West Ham's players and played like you did in the first half, you'd have gone in 1-0 up. I'm pretty sure of that. I think if you just had better players, you would have done better. The tactics were on point. And what's disappointing me was, before the game, I thought Fulham were going to be lining up with three at the back. And someone on Sky had said to David Moyes about Fulham lining up at three at the back. And David Moyes said something about, I think it'll be four at the back, actually, for Fulham. And he was right. Now, had David Moyes anticipated it to be three at the back and Fulham caught him out, I'd almost understand, say, well, Fulham sprung a surprise on us. But he didn't. Moyes was expecting four at the back. But it felt like Fulham had sprung a surprise because we didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to defend or going to attack him. We were poor. I thought there was one or two individuals who were really not good in the first half, and I don't think they got any better in the second half. But we'll get on to that when we do the individual performers. We were just slow. Whenever we go into the final third, we just took ages to try and do something. It was disappointing. That's the word I would use to sum up that first half. Second half gone, so it doesn't get much better. But Moyes made two substitutions, perhaps eyebrow-raising substitutions, if you like, bringing in Yarmolenko, Mark Noble for Jadon Bourne and Said Benrahma.
Well, I actually thought Benrahma was possibly the only bright spark from an attacking perspective in the first half, actually. And I thought poor old Jesse Lingard, he looked really tired. The whole team looked really tired, by the way. I mean, really, really tired. And I just wondered about Lingard, if actually that first game people were praising his fitness levels, that may well have just been adrenaline. So actually what we suspect to be true is going to take him a little while to get up to match sharpness. And actually I think him missing the Man United game will probably do him a favour just to get a week. He probably needs 2 or 3 days rest, then get back on the training field. And then the next time we see Lingard, I'm sure he'll be a lot more energetic. But I thought the rest of the team were very, very lethargic as well. And that was it sort of confirmed that to me at the start of the second half, when clearly they'd had a rollicking at half time and they came out. If you watch from kickoff, not that you want to watch that game again, you just watch the first sort of 90 seconds of that half. Look how quickly we're pressing, how high, we're really at it. And then we couldn't do it anymore, which goes to show that actually the instruction was to press, but we were tired. Our legs just weren't capable of doing it. But actually, I felt our minds were tired. I don't mean yours and mine, Gio. Clearly, we're fresh as daisies upstairs. But their minds were tired. They weren't seeing ideas, weren't seeing things quickly. The legs were also the same. I felt we lacked some pace and some intensity. So actually, from that point of view, I thought the substitutions were a little bit odd, actually, because they brought on possibly the 2 slowest players that we have in the squad. Maybe that's a bit harsh, but you know what I mean. 2 of these slower players, and it just didn't really help. It didn't give us any sort of impact at all. I think they may well have, and I don't necessarily mean Odobeko in this one, but it would have been the obvious choice. But sort of almost anyone young at that point who was fast from the under-23s, who obviously played last night, would have helped. I mean, we were desperate for some energy, just some energy and some pace at that point. I mean, we didn't really have any of it anywhere. Of course, Fredericks came on later. He's got bundles of pace, but it was tough because it wasn't just energy, Gio. It was craft. We lacked craft and invention to do anything today as well.
I didn't think we could press. I know you're saying we looked tired. I don't think it was tired. I think Fulham just outpassed us. Whenever we pressed, they just knocked it around and picked holes in our press. We'd go push 2 or 3 players up. They would move it from side to side, and before they knew it, they were in that pocket of space again. Ruben Loftus-Cheek only seems to turn into a monster when he plays against Declan Rice for some reason. But I thought he was terrific today in that first half. He faded a little bit towards the end, but I thought in the first half, I thought he was unplayable. I thought he was running Craven Cottage. I thought we need to get a grip of this. We need to stop him. And in the second half, nothing changed. He was still running the game for Fulham. And I thought every time we pressed, he would just... Fulham would almost move the ball about to create room for Loftus-Cheek, and they'd give it to him. He would turn around, facing our defence, and all of a sudden we were at 6s and 7s, and no one knew anything. You used the word lethargic, and I would agree with that, actually. It's a good word to describe our attack. I thought, defensively, we played well. I thought our midfield too was struggling badly. They were outnumbered in there. They were outstretched as well. They weren't just outnumbered. They were getting dragged out to the wide positions of the pitch where you don't want to be when you're a centre midfielder. You don't want to be dragged out wide, but they were getting dragged out wide. And I think that's why he done the substitutions. I thought Noble was the right sub at the time, believe it. And I thought it was the right thing to do, get him on, because we just didn't have the ball. We were just getting booting it, and it was coming back at us. I thought, well, he's clearly trying to get it, but get someone on there, shore up the middle of the pitch, keep the ball West Ham, and actually give the team a rest, move the ball about, and just have a breather. And I thought we did that when Noble come on the pitch. I thought we started to get on the ball a bit more. Did we start to get a bit more creative and adventurous? No, we didn't. But we started to have a bit more possession in the middle third of the pitch. The Yarmolenko one, I sort of get it. I wouldn't have done 2 at once there. I would have tried the Noble thing first with probably Ben Rama and Lingard, actually. And to be honest with you, Bowen as well. And I would have took off Antonio and put Martin Noble on there. I thought he was dreadful. But Mikel Antonio had to come off. Gonzo, he signalled to the bench. Gave his bum a little rub at the corner, and then about 3 minutes later, he finally got taken off. I mean,
well, I didn't see him signal to the bench. I mean, again, I just presumed he was knackered. He looked knackered.
He signalled to the bench. He waved at the bench and signalled, and then the play continued. Fulham had a corner, and he came back for it, and you could see him holding his left hamstring, and he was rubbing it. And then he sprinted after a Fulham defender, and he sort of pulled up a little bit. He sort of sprinted 3-4 yards and stopped and thought, oh, I better not do that.
Yeah, 72nd minute that was. He tried and he didn't really contest it, did he? Which I actually scribbled down on 72nd minute, get Antonio off, and it was almost the next thing that happened on there. Yeah, I mean, he was not at the races today, and this will come down to this decision, not to get another striker in. I mean, it was always likely to happen in that sense that we, now Moyes is gonna have to conjure something up. Anyway, that's for future games. Yeah, I mean, he was poor. He was part of a very, very poor performance, and he looked 80% fitness all game. Plus, was never able to get into the game, and he didn't really have a trick in him. I'm not sure he had a shot, to be perfectly honest with you. So. It was poor, and I think certainly for those of us that were looking forward to seeing a little bit more of that axis of Ben Rama and Lingard and Antonio, it never happened for many reasons. A lot of which we've covered. Now, I didn't see anything wrong with actually. It wasn't just energy, by the way, and fitness. I felt our pace was down just generally. A sharpness was missing, and so sharpness, not just running, the sharpness in the snap in the pass and the dribble and all of that. The only person I felt had any sort of snap today was Ben Rama. I felt the only person I actually felt at any point ever got into a full sprint was him. So I don't know if he was, a little bit more energetic than the rest. It's funny he got pulled off first, but if you pardon the expression, he might feel fortunate to have done so. But there was quite a lot wrong today, and we just never got going. It was a poor, lazy Magnolia performance, if you want.
Yeah, I think that Antonio was awful today. I think you're looking at him thinking he's not fully fit, but I don't think he was fully interested either. I thought he looked. I didn't think he was. I didn't think he looked up for it, Antonio. There was 50-50s. He wasn't even winning them. But not only was he not winning them, he wasn't even contesting them at some points. Then he signalled to come off. He was bang on the 70th minute. The reason I know this, because I'd do the second half to watch along, I could see him signalling. So I was saying, oh, no, it's the 70th minute. Antonio was signalling. I thought, oh, no. Then we had the corner, and then he sprinted. I thought, what's going on? The guy's just asked to come off. Why is he... Then we see him hold his hamstring. Now we're seeing him sprinting. What's he doing? Why is he not lying on the deck, letting the physio come on and sit there blethering for a couple of minutes while they get the sub ready? In fact, it took us 3 minutes to get the sub ready when someone's got an injury problem, a muscle problem. It's not ideal. And you just think, well, this is where, there's no Odebeko on the bench. There's no striker on the bench. That's frustrating. And then this is where you've got to look at the manager and say, well, you chose to not buy a striker in January. You better hope Antonio's not out for a while. And if he is, you better hope your plan, whatever it is, because we have to assume he's got one, you better hope your plan works, essentially. Because that, followed by the red card, which we'll get onto in a second, let's say it's stood, hypothetically. I don't think it will, but let's say it does stand. We could go the next 3 games without Antonio and Soucek, and you'd have to assume that our results will be heavily impacted by it. It's almost turned out to be a bit of a disaster of a half for West Ham, that 45 minutes. Yep. We didn't play well. We didn't score a goal. We only got 1 point. Soucek got signed off and Antonio went off injured. It couldn't get much worse. But this is where I get a bit frustrated. I know I did my video on Moyes last night. Maybe I did it too soon, but I still got my gripes with him. And one of them is like the striker situation where he said, oh, I'm happy with the squad. But then he also said about Odebeko midweek, well, playing when there's an opportunity. Today is the opportunity. The striker had to go off injured. We need a goal. That is the perfect opportunity to put him on. We then had to put on a right back and start shuffling the pack around while we're desperate for a goal. And at the same time, Fulham are launching on 2 strikers to go for the win. One of them we could have potentially went and got had we wanted him. And I just feel a bit frustrated today. It's a missed opportunity massively today. It's 2 points dropped as far as I'm concerned. Not through the performance. On paper, I'm talking. Performance-wise, we didn't deserve anything out of that game. We're lucky to get a point, I think. But on paper, I think it's 2 points dropped. And it's just a bit frustrating after such good results and performances against Palace and Villa. The players didn't turn up today. Anyway, listen, 94th minute. Before we get on to that, actually, I must thank you to Liam. Sorry I can't donate any more, lads, but a photo has been taken of the red card. No contact was made with the elbow. This is overruled. VAR is corrupt. Liam, thank you very much. Don't ever apologise. But thank you. We appreciate your support.
You donate far too much as it is, mate. You donate justly as well, so please stop.
The 94th minute. Anyway, goes 94th minute. Soucek. We're waiting for the free kick from Lingard. Mitrovic goes down. Mike Dean blows. Someone whispers in his ear. He goes over to the screen. Comes back, brandishes Soucek the red card. What's your opinion of it all?
I mean, there's lots. Okay, well, there's 3 people responsible for that, and that's Soucek, that's Mitrovic, and it's Mike Dean, all to varying degrees. I actually think, let's get something straight. The red card is for violent conduct. There was no violence there. There was no violence. Okay, so I know what was happening there. Mitrovic had his hands all over Soucek, and it was more of a get off like that. It was almost like, as you would if someone sort of grabbing you, get off. That's what it was. Do I think Soucek knew that his arm? I think Soucek knew his arm was up there, because I think immediately, oh, hold on, But let's be perfectly fair. There was nothing violent about that at all. I would question whether it even borderline touched him. And for him to go down like that was, I was going to say, a disgrace. These things happen, all right? These things happen. All I can say about Mitrovic is on that, it's actually his job. I think they got him off Newcastle. They paid a lot of money for that player. Did they get him from Newcastle? I got it right. They paid a lot of money for that player. His job is to score goals, and he hasn't scored enough goals. And Fulham don't score any goals, and that's one of the reasons is that probably their record ever signing doesn't score enough. That's his job. It's not his job to fall over when someone brushes him gently and make out that he's been shot. And because he doesn't score enough goals, that's why Fulham will go down this season. However, at that, I would expect a referee as experienced as Mike Reid to have a look at that and realise what's happened, which is Exactly that. Soucek's done that, which he shouldn't have done. He should know. Soucek's got to be wiser. He's got to know exactly at that point that Mitrovic is trying to get a reaction from him. And he gave a reaction. A little one, yes. Violent, no. Mike Dean should have looked at that. Looked when he's gone to look at the screen, where the guy said, "Go and have a look, mate." She looked at that and he should have taken one look at what Mitrovic did. Oh, falling over. And anyone with any common sense would have looked at it and thought, I'm not having any of this. He should have gone back. He should have said to Soucek, keep your arms down, mate. He should have turned around to Mitrovic and said stop being a dick, basically. Stop rolling around. There was nowhere near enough contact to put you down. He should have done that. But there's something about Mike Dean where, and everybody feels this, that he always has to be the centre of attention. And the trouble is with it, it's not his job. You can see it in the way he holds the card up and the way he points, and everything's very dramatic. He almost takes on the posture of a ballet dancer in many respects. It's all very sharp, his movements, and you get the feeling everything he does is for the camera rather than being understated. And his job, which is an official, to help smooth the flow of the game. And so I felt, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm sort of biased there, I felt he wanted to be centre of attention again. I felt it meant it wasn't violent conduct. I think Mitrovic is a disgrace, but it hasn't really done him any good because he still hasn't scored any goals today. I think it will cost West Ham in terms of Soucek, if it doesn't get overturned, being missing for the next 3 games. I think it may well cost us our season there to a certain extent. But you know what? Mitrovic's lack of goals probably cost Fulham their season. So it's actually done him no good at all. I would say good luck to him, but I don't wish him good luck. I wish him bad luck, to be fair.
I know they're saying that it's like a clenched fist is the reason why it's been perceived as violent conduct. The fact that Soucek's fist is clenched while doing it. I actually think he's trying to lift his arm over Mitrovic's head in order to turn his body. I don't think he's trying to shook him off per se. I think he's trying to lift it out of the way, turn his body and run into the box. So Jesse Lingard's just the way to kick it and he's getting ready to go. What I will say about Mitrovic is Mitrovic tries to tell Mike Dean it's not a red card. I think Mitrovic almost feels a little bit embarrassed after maybe 10 seconds on the deck. He probably thinks, what the hell am I doing here? I think he loops his arm over, tries to make the run. He makes a bit of contact. I think there's contact there. I almost get why Mitrovic has gone down. Is it in the spirit of the game? No. But all we have to do is go look at Villa Park when Soucek got tripped in the box and nothing happened because Soucek didn't go down. You want something to happen, you've got to hit the deck now. Do I agree with it? No. But that's unfortunately, that's what football is. Part of football now is trying to con the referee. If you can't win fairly, then win cheating. That's how they go about it. I think Mitrovic starts to feel a bit embarrassed. I think he says to Mike Dean, when Mike Dean comes back, Mitrovic goes over, I think, to say it's not a red card because Soucek thanks him. And I don't think Soucek would be thanking him if he's saying, oh, yeah, send him off. So I think Soucek's saying thank you. You know, I think apparently after the game, Scott Parker said it wasn't a red card as well. But the fact is, Mike Dean didn't know. So whoever's on the VAR duties told Mike Dean to go have a look. And I think that's what plays on Mike Dean's head a little bit. I think Mike Dean's probably, if the guy saying it's not a red card, he would have continued. But because he's got to go look at the screen, that puts the seed of doubt in Mike Dean's head initially, thinking, okay, this is a red card. My mate, my friend, sat in that room, thinks it's a red card. So he's looking at it. After looking at it about 5 times, you must know you're not 100%. He looked at that about a lot. Mike Dean was stood there for a long time watching the same replay over and over. So clearly, the VAR is for clear and obvious errors. That's what it's supposed to be for. If you need to look at it that long, it's obviously not a clear and obvious error. You've obviously just go with it. What annoyed me is you could see it on the TV. He was watching in slow motion when he decided to go get the red card. It's going to look bad on slow motion. Everything looks bad on slow motion. It looks so. You see Soucek coming up like this and clumping him on the nose in slow motion. It's going to look bad. But Mike Dean is lucky to be the referee this game. It was him that was. I don't know if he was the ref. I think he was the referee. He was the referee who sent off the Southampton player midweek, whose red card got overturned. So he sent someone off during the week for Southampton, Benderek. I think he sent Benderek off. Yeah, and his red card got rescinded. So he's made an error during the week with a red card, been allowed to referee today, and he's made another error, this time with the benefit of watching a bloody screen. It's just frustrating me because it doesn't make a big difference in the game. It's the last minute of the game. Nothing happened. But what it does do, it took away our biggest attacking threat, a free kick at the dying moments of the game. Would Soucek have scored that? Probably not. But our last free kick, Soucek won the header. It was him that headed over the bar. You took out our most attacking threat. Now, it's a 3-game ban as it stands. I think it'll get overturned. I'll be shocked if it doesn't. But it's not the point, though. It's just the principle of it. That VAR there, we've been cheated a little bit tonight. Like I said, would we have won the game? No. I don't think we would have. I think we're lucky to get a point, in all honesty. But it's just... Tonight was a massive night of frustration with the referee, with that decision, Antonio being injured, and the way West Ham United played tonight. One big 90-minute of frustration. Gonzo, 0-0, full time. What are you thinking? Red card aside.
Well, there's no red card aside, but I will say this though, that had no bearing. Might bear, so late in the game, that had no bearing on the result. Let's get that straight. And also, had Mikel Antonio not have had we have had an energetic striker to come on in the 73rd minute or whenever it wasn't sure that would have made much difference either. Such was the ineptitude and the lack of drive from the rest of the team. It was a very, very slow, very sluggish performance, devoid of any sort of quality at all. I mean, the deliveries, the set plays, where you're right in terms of would Soucek have scored that if he'd have been on at the last bit? Probably not, because our set plays were awful today. I thought from the moment we did it once again, where we tried to take the first one and Cresswell had a shot from it. We've got this wonderful tool and something that we can use, this weapon in our armory, and too often we choose not to use it. We're ahead of the stats in the Premier League for when the ball gets crossed over, be it from a corner or a set play, for us heading it in. And the first thing we tried to do was shoot from an angle where it would have been a wonderful goal. It would have been a goal of the month sort of goal had Cresswell curled that in. I understand why they do it, to try and keep the opposition guessing, but we are more likely to score a very basic, unwonderful goal by crossing it over and getting one of the big fellas, Soucek or Dawson or Ogbonna, to head it in. And so I just thought our quality was lacking, be it passing, dribbling. I was going to say shooting. We didn't really have a shot. It was chalk and cheese. Look at all the shots we were having in the previous game against Aston Villa. We just weren't really threatening. I do think fatigue played a massive part tonight. And I, and it's not great. And it's unentertaining, and we'll have to get our entertainment elsewhere today, I'm afraid. But I do look at it, and I do. It's not, you can't ever say it's a good result or a good point because they're so low down in the league. But there's some funny old results in the Premier League at the moment, and you never know how decent that point looks. But it don't feel very good now. And as you say, we may well find actually the fallout from this game is not the 2 points that we would have liked to have picked up additionally today. It may well be the next games to follow if indeed we are without Antonio and we are without Soucek. Otherwise, there's going to be a very, very different composition to the team. But all in all, disappointing. There was nothing to get excited about today, G. This is a funny thing. I think before the Liverpool game, I sort of built myself up in terms of excitement, in terms of going forth. I wasn't that today. I built myself up in terms of excitement of looking at some attacking football. Thought, oh, this can be good. This is, we sat down here and get ready to watch it. And, well, you could tell pretty early on, oh, my goodness, we got no oomph about us. We got no punch. We got no sharpness, no snap. And it was a crap game of football to watch, and we weren't very good.
Yeah, we need to give Austin Powers a call because we have lost our mojo since the Villa part. We left it in Birmingham. But I think the fatigue thing, I get what you're saying, but A, Fulham's played just as much games as us, and B, we chose to have a squad this small. We've had a month to rectify. It shows that, no, we're happy with this. We'll go with it. We can't really use it as an excuse going forward because then we should have done...
No, but you can use it as an excuse in the game. It is true. Yes, they're both true. Have we got a small squad? Yes. So were we tired because of that today? Yes, absolutely. Going forward, we're going to have to... We'll have to discuss
Did we do anything to rectify it in January, though? No.
No, we didn't, but that's totally different to where we knackered today. What you can't say is we didn't sign anybody in January, so let's all pretend we were fit today. That's not the case. We were knackered today, and highly likely because our squad is too small. But that doesn't mean you don't say we were knackered. We were absolutely knackered today.
Yeah, we were, but we chose to continue the season with this size of squad. So then, I don't feel like we can then turn around and say. I say we, not me and you. I mean, West Ham United collectively can say, well, the players were tired. Well, you had an opportunity to do something about that small squad. I do feel tiredness is a consequence of having lack of squad depth there available to us.
But then you get that's the problem with the press conferences, you see. Because that's my point. That's what I'm saying. It's not black and white. It's a grey area there in terms of they were knackered, and then so the press conference you say right recriminations in terms of this performance. David, we had two things here. Number one, the players are tired. So first question is, do you regret not strengthening more in January? Number two, Antonio went off injured. We got a young striker in Mupo Adebeko, wasn't featured in the squad today. Do you see any chance where he is going to be involved, and those are the type of questions I would like to ask them, because that's really the issue here, I think. Anyway, there you go.
Thank you, Doug, for £5 in the full-time fund. He said, thoughts on the time wasting? Fabianski 3-goal kicks in the 80th minute were, I think they were actually longer than what you said. I said it in the watch along as well. We'll get onto that in a second. The £5 from Rick Cogger, massive thank you to Rick, says, I can come on and explain about the red card. I'm a referee. Rick, we have a call-in show Monday night. Monday night we have Top West Ham from 8 p.m. You want to get involved, email us, hammerchat@gmail.com.
And please do, mate. It'd be interesting to hear.
Not just Rick, everyone else, anyone watching this that wants to come on, you're welcome to come on Monday night at 8 p.m. till 9 p.m. Get in touch with us in the emails. I think we were poor tonight. We were poor from the first minute to the last. Thought Fulham were the better team. But this is, if you could sum up Fulham this season, it's that. They play well, they look good, play pretty football, arguably the better team for large parts of the game, don't have enough to show for it. At one point, it's better than nothing, obviously, but it's just not enough. It's not enough for Fulham where they are. That sums up Fulham's season. That doesn't sum up our season, though. That tonight didn't reflect West Ham United this season. And I mean that as a compliment to West Ham United. I think that was poor from us. We're lacking, you said oomph, I said mojo, whatever you want to call it, the X factor. We were lacking that. We were lacking any sort of intensity. We had, against Villa, we had a blueprint specifically for Aston Villa, and we smashed it. The blueprint worked. The tactics worked. A T done. Tonight, I don't feel like we had one for Fulham. Is it arrogance on our part that we could turn up and play our game and we'd win? I don't think so. I don't think we are like that. But we didn't have a game plan for Fulham tonight. I think they had a game plan for us, and I think it worked. I think they've done well to stop our players playing. I don't think anyone defensive side of our defense played well, but in terms of midfield and attack, I don't think anyone had a particularly good game. I think there's more performers and poor performers than good performers. It's just frustrating. It's a missed opportunity. I was feeling good coming into tonight's game, but at half time, I still felt we could nick it. I still felt we were going to get a goal from somewhere. Could we have that quality? And we started to pick up set pieces. I thought, well, come on then. One of these are just going to pay off. But even our set pieces just wasn't really good enough. They were just lacking in a little bit of something. We weren't attacking the ball the same way. I don't know. It was just a bit flat tonight. I'm very, very disappointed. And the striker situation frustrated me because, you know, in the build-up show, I said to you, why is Adebeko not involved? We need a striker on the bench. And if Antonio gets injured, and it just frustrated me further. I thought, well, this is get him on and go for it. Fulham threw strikers on at the end. Fulham went for 3 points. I don't think we did. We threw on a right back. We could have brought on Lanzini and done something, but we didn't. We chose to bring on Fredericks. You know, and then ties in with Doug's question about the time wasting. We were time wasting. Did I feel like we were time wasting? Not really. I didn't think. I thought Fabianski's always slow at taking goal kicks, regardless of what the score is. But to get booked for time wasting when it's 0-0 away to Fulham was a bit. He must, if he was time wasted, that's an instruction. The goalkeeper doesn't just decide himself, I'm going to start time wasting now. That is an instruction from the dugout that a point is okay. We'll take a point here. That was before the red card and stuff. I don't know why we were happy with the point tonight. Maybe this is what, like I said, I think Moyes is a lot more patient than what I am as a West Ham fan. I think Moyes is okay with finishing 8th this season and building his squad up and trying to push on next year, whereas I'm not. I'm a bit impatient. I want European football this season. So tonight I'm looking at thinking 2 points drop. Moyes might think we'll take that. You know, we'll stay in the top half of the table. We're still in course for finishing 8th in the league, kind of thing. It's just a frustrating night. Individual performance, Gonzo.
Not many, to be perfectly honest with you today. I thought Soufal had energy. Actually, to be fair, I said people lacked energy. Soufal had energy. I thought Ogbonna made some tackles. I thought Ben Rama was offered a little bit, and wasn't an awful lot. I actually thought Cresswell put in 2 good crosses. Actually, I'm really struggling, to be perfectly honest with you. And I don't mean it to be funny. I'm really struggling. Not a lot of people did a lot of stuff today, which is probably the worst football observation you ever heard, and very awfully articulated. But I'm looking for people to kick the ball and dribble and cross and do all of this sort of stuff. I didn't really see an awful lot of it today, so it's really hard to pick anyone out. I felt a bit sorry for Lingard because he just looked shattered from his exertions the other night, and clearly he had to play the 90 minutes as well. I guess Dawson wasn't bad either. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't particularly pick holes in anyone in that back four. The rest of them, pretty poor stuff, really, to be honest with you.
I think the back five were good. I thought Cresswell played well. I thought Cresswell's, our best chances come from Aaron Cresswell crossing the ball. I thought Rice and Soucek, big job in there in the middle of the pitch. I actually think we missed Pablo Fornals tonight. I think Fornals usually gets in and sort of helps them two out in the middle of the park sometimes. And we didn't need it against Aston Villa for whatever reason. I guess John McGinn and Douglas Luiz didn't really cause enough problems. But tonight I felt Lamina, Reid and Loftus-Cheek, and then I thought Lookman and Carvalho and Bobby Reid were all dropping in that little pocket of space around Soucek and Rice. I think they just had too much to do, and without Fornals dropping in, Lingard I don't think comes back like anyone else. I think even when Ben Rama is number 10, Ben Rama comes back and defends, Fornals comes back, even Lanzini, Noble come back. I don't think Lingard does that, and I think until Noble come on, I think they were really struggling in there. I felt once Noble come on, I felt we started to get our foot on the ball a little bit better. I thought we were knocking the ball about well. We've recycled possession better. But in terms of the attack, I thought Ben Rama was slow, Gonzo. Whenever he got the ball, I thought he was quite almost too laid back a little bit. He was happy to just get the ball and just trot up the pitch with it. Didn't really see Jared Bowen. Lingard didn't really see much of him. And Antonio I thought was poor. 50-50s. He wasn't even competing for half of them. I don't know. It's just a bad day at the office, really. Final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, exactly what you I mean, I think you said I used a good word. Whatever I used, I thought yours was good. Flat. It was totally flat today. Actually, it was like a bottle of iron brew, mate. The lid's been left off overnight, and you go and swig it in the morning. And flat iron brew today, Gio. Flat iron brew. But you know what? It's not the end. It's not the end of the world. At least. It's a point. It's a point. It's not great. It's a point. The week. I was going to say the week is young. No, it's not. It's at the end of the week. But in terms of the next couple of games, I'll be, if we go out the cup and then we lose to Sheffield United, I'll be really, really peed off. There's no doubt about it. Today, yeah, just a bad day at the office. Let's see what happens with Antonio. Let's see what happens with Soucek. It could all be fine. Honestly, it could all be fine. We could. Antonio might be fit. Soucek might get rescinded, and we beat Man United in the cup, and we're laughing. But it could all be bad. For the complete opposite of what I said. So I'll wait and see until we got there. But it just wasn't very good today.
Yeah, I think Soucek will get overturned, and I think with Antonio, I think it's more of he felt it because he did that sprint after asking to come off. He still tried to sprint, so he's clearly not torn or anything. So that gives me a little hope. It's a point, listen, a year ago, 2 years ago, this would have been deemed a decent enough result, but the fact that we deem this as a poor result shows how good we've done this season. We beat Man United on Tuesday. Would you have offered me a point at Craven Cottage and into the next round of the FA Cup before today? I probably would have taken it. I'm not going to lie. I would have been, I like the league and stuff, but the FA Cup's always been priority. You can't just, me and you can't just change our mind because we're fifth and say, actually, the league's always priority. The FA Cup's always been our priority. It does put a bit more, sort of emphasis on the game against Man United because if we lose that one as well, it starts to feel a bit like, a lot of pressure on Sheffield United's game. Bad day at the office. Nobody particularly played well, but it is what it is. I thought Fulham were the better team, and I think Harrison Reid was man of the match. Actually,
oh yeah.
I think he was. I think the ginger boy for Fulham thought he was excellent, despite me slagging him off.
He was very busy, wasn't he?
Oh, he was brilliant. He was zipping around the pitch and stuff. Oh, great. Here we go. It's just one. A bad day at the office for West Ham and a bad day at the office for Gio as well. I didn't just put £2 in full-time fund. So let's remain positive, small steps forward. Do you know something? I think the difference between this performance and maybe seasons gone by, is tomorrow I will wake up and I've forgotten about this one. I'll wake up a bit like the Liverpool one. You wake up, you think, actually, remember the Liverpool one. People won't know this. We did the review. We're a bit disheartened. We're angry. We're a bit disheartened. And then we actually we did a top West Ham. And then we took a couple of hours break, and then we did the player ratings.
Yeah.
And when we come back for the player ratings for the patrons, Gonzo said to me, "How are you feeling now? Because we've had a couple of hours away to chill, watch the football, whatever." And I said, I'm actually okay now. I feel okay. And I think it'll be a bit like this today. I think at the minute I'm a bit disappointed. Mike Dean's done David Moyes a favour because he's taken the headlines away, so it'll actually overshadow what has been a poor performance for West Ham. He's done like a Jose Mourinho for David Moyes, changed the headlines. So it's not about West Ham's subpar performance, it's now about the referee. So while we're angry about it at the minute, actually does us a favour in terms of PR. It takes the media spotlight away from our performance today. Tonight I'll be okay. Tomorrow I'll wake up feeling back to normal, back to good, feeling positive, as Adam said, ready for Tuesday night, ready to rock and roll. Stephen, thank you very much. He's put £4 in the full-time fund. He hasn't put a comment. Well, wait 1 second.
He's got a motorbike now, which is good.
He had to pick a man of the match. Who would you pick? Keep up tradition. Claire's well for me.
Soucek, whatever, yeah.
Anyway, drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you needed to the channel. Myself and Gonzo, we're off to do the player ratings for the patrons. Want to know more about that? Go to patreon.com/hammerschat. Links in the description. And Gonzo, I'll see you in a minute.
Look forward to it.